What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title that I haven't played in a year and a half. It's been quite a while since we took a look at this one. It's a little title called Underspace. This is a game where you are a spacefaring mercenary from a noble family that's disgraced that heads out to the stars to find your fortune, but with a twist. There are giant storms throughout the galaxy that bring in Eldritch monsters, and all your technology is fueled by that kind of stuff. So today we're going to take a look at the game for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or one of those games you would rather not play for yourself. If after watching this you wanted to check out Underspace, they are on the runway towards their 1.0 in early access right now. I've been playing the game for 5 or 6 hours prior to the recording of this video, and I'm very happy with it. I think the game is a lot of fun, but that link is down below along with a bunch of other Nerdcastle links in case you wanted to check them out. So let's go ahead and roll on into this thing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually attempting to track down wanted criminals, but at the moment we're going to be attacking a weapons platform that's been taken over by pirates. It's about 11 kilos out, so we should be there pretty shortly. But honestly, I've been really impressed with Underspace during the time that I've spent with it. This is one of those games that I haven't played in like a year and a half. And in that year and a half, the developer has managed to get a lot of really cool details into this game. Like, it's come a long way from the very simplistic freestyle-inspired demo that we played years ago. Nowadays, this thing is just chock-a-block with stuff to do. Like, the game has loads and loads and loads of activities and, like, side things that you can play around with. In the process of destroying this weapon platform, obviously, we're going to end up fighting with a number of drones that have been launched to fight with us. Oh, they've got elites out here, too. Huh? All right, they got all kinds of stuff. Nope, stop doing what you're doing right now. All right. I was trying not to activate my jump engines real fast in the middle of a fight. These guys have me outmaneuvered, which is kind of unfortunate. And they also kind of have me outgunned a little bit, which is equally unfortunate. But this guy right here, you can see that from the designation on our HUD, he's got a little skull next to his little target frame or whatever. That's because this guy is an elite. He's known as like a ace in this game. And so he's going to drop really, really good loot if we get lucky. Did he just jump out? What did he just do? I don't know what he just did. I think he might have jumped out. Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen him do that before. I got to destroy that weapons platform over there, but unfortunately they have quite a few guards trying to keep me off this thing. There's one right now. I can't even target him. Good lord. They're moving fast, bro. I just need to target somebody so I can keep them tracked. There we go. Give me the big arrows right there. I need to put some heat on one of these guys. While we're fighting, all the stuff that you're seeing is going to be standardized dogfighting space stuff. So, for example, the blue meter on all these guys is going to be their shields. The red meter is going to be their... There we go. Finally dropped one. That should give us a little bit of clearance. Oh, his drone went down with him. Nice. Okay, suck up all of his loot because I've been going through shield caches like crazy right now. The blue is going to be the enemy's shield. The red is going to be their hull. You have different weapons that are able to damage different things. This game does have a lot of weapons inside of it. Most of them seem to be like energy weapons or particle throwers. I haven't seen anything that's like a slug thrower or anything else like that. Man, that guy is being a real pain. I'm gonna try to head him off. There we go. There we go. We got a nice little joust in. I think I got the better deal out of that joust. I don't know if there's any point still like venting all my shots at him right now. Come on. Go down. Either way, I've got his tail end right now. There we go. We dropped him. Didn't get any loot from him, unfortunately, but this comms platform over here, this is what I'm supposed to be destroying. But as I was saying, there's lots of weapons in this game, but they are mostly limited to different types of like plasma throwers and also rocket launchers, tracking missiles and things like that. Oh, this thing's got, okay, this thing's got guns too. That's unfortunate, and his guns hurt. His guns hurt real bad. Okay. Let's just stay dashing around him. This is obviously, as far as games like this go, this is going to be a much more... Oops, that was actually embarrassing. See, this is what happens when I try to do commentary while also playing a game right here. Normally, I don't crash into stuff, but hey. Finish it off. There we go. All right, the comms platform is down, and we got our $60,000 paycheck. Whew, finally back to what I was saying. So in this game, you've got lots of plasma throwers, lots of fusion throwers, lots of missile launchers. Haven't really seen any solid slug throwers or anything else like that just yet, but there is quite a bit of variety here. And the entire game functions on this idea of different weapons have different polarities for different shields. So You can have like kinetic shields, you can have quasar shields, you can have neutrino shields, and like different shields are disrupted by different weapons that have bonus damage or damage subtractions from them. And that's where you kind of want to come up with a well-rounded sort of loadout for your ship. Like right now, I think I'm running 3 pairs of weapons that are all different elements at the moment. That way, no matter who I can fight, I can damage somebody. And at the worst case, like if I'm shooting a guy, only 2 out of my 6 weapons are going to be resisted by him. I've also got another mission over here. We've got to hunt down and kill a pirate. And it looks like he's actually got a pretty sizable bounty on his head. Like 84,000 is no joke. I don't know how that fight's gonna go. So first things first, let's go back to a station and I'm gonna resupply myself real quick. This entire game is actually really well designed when it comes to transit. Playing this game is kind of like going on a road trip pre-internet days. In this game, you can have it guide you where you want to go, but there's only one method of fast travel in this game. There's space trains, and you can load all of your equipment and gear on a space train, and you can have it instantly take you where you want to go if you want, but I don't really do that because it's kind of pricey. Oh, I left loot laying over here. Yeah, hull webbings. I didn't need those back when we were fighting these guys on this side during the intro, but I kind of need them now. So if you're wondering what a hull webbing is, or you're wondering what a shield mesh is, those are basically potions. Like I said, this game is a very, very arcadey game, a la something like Freelancer, where you've got potions that will instantaneously refill your shields or your hull or whatever else. You could see me popping them frequently during that last battle. Let's jump into one of the highways right here. There we go. And as I was saying about travel in this game, you are going to have to travel around and learn the systems and learn where stuff is at. It's kind of like going on an old road trip pre-internet days where you've got to know what highways lead where, and you're only kind of going to get that by doing it yourself and figuring it out along the way. Unfortunately, the highways are just infested with pirates, and so I'm going to see if I can take some of these guys out. I haven't been super combat heavy lately. I've been doing a lot of investigation missions and stuff. Oh, I got you now. Yeah, you too much of a slow mover for me. A wrecked bulwark shield. Occasionally when you kill off enemies in this game, they'll drop damaged versions of items that are around, or they'll drop damaged versions of like really, really high tier items. And that turns into kind of like a side quest where you've got to end up like salvaging, going around and finding all the parts to fix this rad piece of gear so that you can utilize it for yourself. There we go. Please, I have a family. Well, you should have thought about that before you engaged in a life of crime. You should have thought about that before you met me. With that interruption on out of the way, let's jump back on the highway. God. Pirates everywhere. The place just filthy with them. All over. But back to my discussion about transit. I actually really like that about this game. It infuses the game with a feeling of risk when you don't really know quite where you're going. Like, you can find it on a star map, you can set up grid lines in order to get there a little bit more effectively, but at the end of the day, it feels like an old road trip where if you deviate from that plan or something happens that gets you a little bit mixed up, this is one of those games where you can get lost in it a little bit, and that lostness usually ends up in having some kind of adventure. Let's go to the shipyard real fast because I'm going to get docking permission over here. I want to sell off some of the loot in my cargo hold, and I want to refill my potions real fast before we go hunt down this pirate, because this is the hardest pirate that I've ever attempted. I saved it for you guys. I found this pirate on like the random mercenary mission log, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that mission, and when I record the video out for this, I'm gonna make that mission one of my goals or focuses. Every space station in this game looks a little different, depending on what race runs the space station. So different parts of space. So if we go out to the space map real quick, this is the local map right now. I think I'm in Valdric space right now. I'm not exactly sure where I am, but we can go out to the galaxy map. And with the galaxy map right here, you can kind of see the system that we're working with at the moment, where these are all of the places that I've been in my 8 hours. If you see something connecting them, I've been there. I've also been to some of these things out here, I think, using wormholes. So occasionally pirates use wormholes to move in between the systems. They're also really important for smuggling, which you can do in this game. And so anyways, when you kill pirates, every now and again they'll drop like a little glowing ball of light, and that little ball of light will tell you where a wormhole is inside one of these systems. And the wormholes are basically secret ways for you to get from one system to another, which makes them super useful for smuggling, because highways are really dangerous for smugglers in this game. There's other pirates that are going to try to prey on you, and there's also the police. Like, they have checkpoints at the ends of each highway where they scan your cargo and whatnot. And so being able to get around that and then fly raw into a system without having ever touched a gate is going to be a really important part of you not getting caught. It can also be really helpful for making long cargo runs. Cargo is a thing in this game. You can actually play this game, so all of the archetypes that you can think about are in this game. If you want to play this game as a trader, play this game as a trader. You can fly around just moving objects from point A to point B. The main storyline quest is quite good, but you are going to end up doing a lot of combat and a lot of espionage in the main storyline, so it might be a good idea to have an extra ship that's kitted out for hardcore combat. Or if you're a dope enough pilot, you can just kill guys inside your freighter if you want to. I got a bunch of things over here. So we got the ensign shield. That's worth 26,000 bucks. Okay, I'll take that. Looks like we've got an Aegis shield over here, which is also, that's a class 3 shield right there. So a nice solid $60,000 paycheck on that front. Money is important in this game because this game does not have experience. One of the weird ways that this game diverges from pretty much every other RPG is that in this game, you only level up by making money. You see how my level up went up right there for making cash? This is very much like a money-focused society where everybody's trying to get rich. Like, this is hyper-capitalism in space. And so it makes sense in the context of the game that the only thing that matters for your skills and how dope you are is the amount of money that you have. So if I go over to, like, my level up interface over here, you can see that my current net worth, so everything I buy, everything I loot, everything I strap onto my ship, it's worth money. And then you've got to hit thresholds in order to level up. You'll get a couple of skill points and you can put them into like various little areas that you can play around with. And like, not all of these are going to be unlocked. Every 10 levels you get to unlock one of these categories. I'm at 13 right now. Oh, 6.5 hours, I guess. I'm at level 13 right now, which means I only got to unlock one skill. I made it so that my scan, I like to do anomaly searches. So when I play games like this or EVE Online, I tend to really like anomaly hunting and like surveyor type gameplay. I like going to planets and like scanning them and finding out all the things and going to like random rifts in reality or whatever and scanning those to get the data. That's what I enjoyed doing. And so my first skill that I picked up at level 10 was long range scanning efficiency, so that I can scan a lot more for a lot less energy, because a default level 1 character, scanning is going to cost most of your capacitor every single time you do it, and some of the anomalies can be tough to track down. Like, you've got to be chain scanning back to back to back in order to really get a good heading on them. I'm also really good at salvaging, because frequently when I get to anomalies and things out in deep space, there's salvage opportunities, and I like having a much higher opportunity to get loot off those opportunities than I normally would. But we caught a pretty good paycheck right there. The last thing that I need to do is I just need to resupply. This game does have a weird menu system. That's probably my one complaint about this game. So I think this is an absolutely phenomenal successor to Freelancer. Like, if you enjoy games like Everspace, if you enjoy games like Freelancer, this is a game that just needs to be inside your library. But the one big thing for this game is that the UI is weird. Everything about the UI in this game is a little bit weird and a little bit off from what you would expect to see from like a very modern game. So it's going to take a little bit of a learning process for you to figure out the UI, the controls, how everything works, how you move in between different areas in the station, how the menus all work. There's going to be a learning curve there, at least in my experience. I think it took me about an hour and a half or so before muscle memory took over and I was just rapidly hitting buttons to do the things that I want to do. Our pirate is, oh, he's in the nebula? Okay, so as I mentioned during the intro of this game, this is what happens when Freelancer meets Lovecraft. So right now, if you look up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see this thing flashing right here. It says Cat 2. That means there's a Category 2 Eldritch storm inside this system. The pirate that we're trying to hunt is inside the Nebula Cloud. The Nebula Cloud is where the Eldritch monsters live. So we're going to go in here, and actually what I'm going to try to do first is we're going to do what's called storm chasing in this game. So in the context of this universe, every piece of hardware on your ship, from the core to the AIs and everything else, relies on Eldritch energy in order to work. And the device that gives you that Eldritch energy is called a Storm Eye, and it's what happens when you kill the monster that lives inside the nebula, or the anomaly, or the puzzle, or whatever's outside of there. And guys that do that for a living and then deliver these Storm Eyes to ship manufacturers and interested parties are called Storm Chasers, basically. And so I'm going to fly into the nebula, and we're going to, like, C, it's only a category 2, so it shouldn't be that bad, and we're in a level 10 system right now, so we should be able to handle it perfectly fine, but it may get a little hectic, and it may get a little bit dingy up in here for a little bit while we figure out what kind of monster is waiting for us along the fringes of reality. It looks like from scans, so early scans are indicating that it is an Eldritch Nebula that has scuttled a ship right here, and in scuttling that ship, we don't know what we're walking into. We know that there's going to be cargo out here. Let me go ahead and fire off just a scan. Yeah, okay. Let's fire off a scan real quick. I think what we want to aim for is it's going to be this underspatial rift is what we're trying to destroy. As we approach the rift, oh, we're also being chased by a pirate right now. He wants us real bad. Okay, so we're going to go for this rift. The ultimate goal of any nebula is to kill off the underspatial rift. If you can murder it, you get a storm eye, and storm eyes are an important crafting material for very high tier gear. You need a lot of them. So never turn down an opportunity to go get a storm eye, because at a certain point, your progress is going to be, oh my god, okay, something's shooting at me down here. I don't know what's shooting at me, but something's shooting at me. Oh, it hurts too. Okay, get the drives up and spun up. We need to stay away from whatever this is. Oh, okay, we're taking some bumps. I think those are functioning kind of like landmines, or we're just taking like incremental damage. It keeps shutting down my shield, and we definitely don't want to run into those. Let's see if we can get to the rift though without dying. I'm going through a few more shield utilities than I would like, but that's life when you're storm chasing. If I can soak even like one hit, there's the rift. We got to get a little bit closer if we want to hurt it. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we shut down the rift. We got our $25,000 payout. Local systems will pay you for getting rid of the storms that are inside. Oh, we got 2 storm eyes from that one. Hell yeah. There's also something right there. What is that? That is terraforming organisms. Those are worth like 150 bucks a piece. Not really worth picking up, but that actually leads me to know what we're about to walk into when it comes to storm chasing in here. So you see that ship right there? I'm willing to bet you what happened is that's a terraforming ship. It was taken over by the Eldritch magic inside this area, and so we're probably about to walk into something really, really weird. So let's get over here. Let's see what we can find. There may be some decent loot over here. It's kind of hard to say until we get up in here and we start actually like scanning what we're looking at. It also looks like we have an aggressor inside of here from the pings, and so we'll see once we get there. Okay, the VMS Laptel. So there's more than likely, let me tune my scanning real fast. We do have cargo containers. Let's take a look at those, but cargo containers inside of an Eldritch field can be a little bit odd. Sometimes they come to life like mimics and they try to consume you and your ship. What is that right there? Internal wear? I've never looted that before, so it might be a crafting material. It might be something for repairing objects. It may be just a trade good. I'm not really too sure. I haven't played around with the trading too much in this game, except for like loose loot that I find on the corpses of my slain bounty hunting foes. Medical supplies. Okay, might be able to flip that with somebody that matters. Let's see, where's this cargo container at? It's right there. All right, let's cruise on over here and see what they've got for us. This cargo container, more medical supplies, so actually not a terraforming ship. It's appearing to be a medical supply ship that got waylaid by the storm. All right. Oh, this one's an Eldritch monster. Is it dead? Did I kill it instantly? Nope, I didn't kill it. I was going to say, dude, anytime there's cargo containers inside one of these areas, you kind of got to be careful. You never know quite whether or not it's going to try to eat you and, like, stuff you inside of its face. Okay, well, there's your first haunted cargo container right there that you've seen. Definitely a lot of kind of, I guess I get sort of Sunless Sea vibes from this game, too, in the way that it presents itself to the player. Real quick here, I'm going to go back and resupply because we took a lot of damage going through those anomalies. And I'm going to go to a station real fast, and I'm going to get ourselves all patched up and feeling better. And then we will worry about our bounty over there on the left. While I'm selling off all the terraforming utilities and whatnot that we have, the game does supply you with market information at every, so you have to go to every single station and every single cargo depot to know what things are selling for and what things are buying for. But once you've done that once, so my recommendation is, even if you're not a trader, always go to the trade depot and open their inventory real fast so that it gets added on into your galactic information, because you can make a lot of profit in this game, but it does give you historical data over here, and I did want to make that clear. For the people that are really, really into the trader lifestyle, you can also mine in this game. I haven't gotten too far into mining. I mined for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, I guess, when I first started out playing, because in games like this, you typically mine for the first little chunk of your stay to make money, but it wasn't very profitable, so I started, like, bounty hunting, but I'm guessing there's more profitable stuff out there somewhere. Now that we're all fresh and resupplied, let's go get our pirate, or die in the attempt. Pulling up on the waypoint now where the pirate's supposed to be at, but unfortunately, scanners are completely and totally empty. So it looks like in the time that I was resupplying and whatnot, the last 30, because I found the information on where he was probably 20 minutes before I started the video, chances are he moved on to a new location. So these missions, when you're bounty hunting, sometimes they get a little bit complicated like this. Like, you're not always going to find the guy you're looking for at the spot where they tell you he's going to be at. People lie, basically, or I'm guessing. This has happened before. So I'm guessing I need to go shake down some more people. The Lobit Corporation, they know where this guy is. So what I need to do now is I actually need to just find Lobit ships, and I need to threaten them and extort them until they tell me where their pirate buddy is at. And so I'll probably go sit by a warp gate for a little bit and just see who comes through. Well, I tried to set up by the warp gate. Unfortunately, pirates were doing the exact same thing and canvassing for loot. So that makes this a little bit more complicated. I'll wipe them out real quick, but I'm probably just going to set up right here with my ship scan online. And when people come through, I'll just hail them and be like, hey, you know where a Lobit ship is? And then once I figure that information out, we'll figure out where the pirate's at so we can actually get this guy. He's being a squirrely criminal right now. He's actually pretty good at evading me. You guys right here. Oh my god. Can you please die? Thank you. I appreciate... Yeah, there you go. I appreciate your cooperation in this manner. A wrecked scanner. That's not that helpful. I don't even know if I have the stuff to fix that right now. I hate it when we fight around these highway lanes, because sometimes you accidentally step into it and you get like shot across the system while in the middle of fighting a guy. This guy running for it? What is this guy doing over here? Oh no, he's coming back in for a strafe. Okay. I think he was just getting a little bit of distance. He was getting a little bit intimidated by the sheer masculine, testosterone-laced firepower that I was about to put on him. Come on. There we go. Bye-bye. Boop. Hey, I got mine right here. I got a refueling freighter. He says that the guy's over here, so I guess we'll go ahead and give that a go. Oh, he's here this time. All right. So Hamby Schlop, and he's also got himself a couple of escorts with him. Fair enough. They're coming in pretty hot. We're going to see how hard this hurts, but I'm worried they have missiles set up. If they have missiles set up, they're going to strip my shields pretty fast, because firing chaff in this game, I haven't re-keybound it just yet. Yeah, okay. All right, don't give them the strafe. Don't even know who I'm shooting at here. I don't even know if I should go for the escorts or if I should go for... Let's go for the escorts first, because they're just going to make this more complicated than it needs to be. So let's stay on the escorts. I think eliminating their DPS will probably help us out the best here, because the big dog with the skull on him, he's the game's equivalent of an elite in like an MMORPG, so he hits harder, he has more HP, he basically just has like flat buffs to everything to denote the fact that he's an ace, like he's a well-renowned pirate for this faction. Every single faction in this game does have their own reputation meter. In fact, you can be a criminal in this game very, very early on. They're going to offer you an opportunity to make friends with the guys that I'm gunning down right now, the Mata. And I don't know if you can, like, join them through a series of quests or anything else like that, but you can raise their reputation. If you can manage to sneak into their station, God, dude, they're putting a lot of fire on me right now. But anyways, as I was saying, if you can manage to sneak into their station, because all the guards are going to be hostile because, you know, we're not a criminal or whatever. But if you can sneak in there, you can take jobs for the criminal factions as well, and they are thematically flavored. Things like smuggling, things like hiding evidence from the cops, things of that nature that are basically more evil inclined. This game does give you the freedom to go ahead and do that. This fight is, wow, man, it's taking me a minute to whittle these guys down right now, isn't it? One thing I do wish about the combat in this game is that I wish you had a little bit more supplementary stuff. As it stands right now inside of combat, you've kind of got like projectile weapons, and you've got missiles. I haven't installed any missiles on my ship yet. You've also got countermeasures, but I do hope that like later on they add new inventory slots to the ship that allow you to deploy like EM warfare or like hacking consoles or something like that, so that like your targeted enemy while you're firing on them, every 15 seconds or so, it shuts down their engines, or, you know, it shuts down their weapons for a little bit, and then they emote and say something, because this game does have open comms while you're fighting with the AI and whatnot. And so I would like to see stuff like that as well, or even like make those active abilities, you know, where you've got like an EM jammer, for example, and you can jam their signals, or you can jam their engines or something like that for 4 seconds, or you can jam their shields for a couple seconds before they come back up at full. Having little active abilities like that to spice things on up would definitely be pretty rad. There we go. We finally got one down. What do we have left? We got like 2 of them left. Okay, we'll take care of the last escort over here. He should be fairly easy to drop as long as he gives me a good angle. Trying to stay on the target reticle in this game, though, can be tough, because I think the enemies actually track your path, and they actually adjust to it. And almost, I don't want to say that it reads your inputs. I don't think that it does that. But the enemy does react to, like, course adjustments and you trying to outstrafe them and outshift them. Sometimes they do that stuff at, like, the speed of light, and sometimes it could make a takedown take a little bit longer than you'd like. There we go. All right, he's down. Well, filled up my shield caches right there. I had to play one the second that I got it. Man, these guys are tough. They definitely have a high HP amount, and they're taking a little while to take down. On top of that, the only one of them that hits worth a damn, though, is this guy. This guy hits like a chunky monster right now, dude. Probably just warp left. He's got me outmaneuvered, so we're probably going to have to pull off some creative flying here if we want this thing to work. Oh, he's got guns that fire backwards, too. Okay, so he's got, like, the reverse gimbals, bro. He's got, like, the tail guns. That's a little concerning. Unfortunately for him, though, he's worth a lot of money. He's worth, like, 100 grand to me. So the chances of me letting this guy go, basically none. Like, I am not retreating from this fight. Somebody dies today. It might be me. It might be him. But either way, somebody's going down. All right, we got a little bit of fire. Hey, all right. We got mimicking nanites. Okay, well, our bounty hunt was successful, and we just made 80 grand. Right now, we have level ups ready to go, so that's good. And I'm creeping up right now on my net worth with another level up. The thing that I want shield recharge rate. I feel like my shield gets dinked down to like half, and it doesn't regenerate fast enough, so if I could get this up to like 100%, I'd feel a lot better about it. Like, I want to see that blue bar move. I do like this game includes a light mode and a dark mode too, like, because your game is still playing in the background while you're in menus. You can get attacked while you're in menus. And so anyways, you can leave it so that you have like a field of view right here while you're fiddling with stuff, or you can put it into dark mode. And I'm kind of like one of the, I put everything in dark mode. Every single thing. Everything on my phone, everything on my desktop, all in dark mode. I am a dark mode addict. But that extra 15-12% shield charge rate, it's not much, but it should help out. From there, I think we should be ready to rock. So what did I pick up here? There is crafting in this game, as previously mentioned. You are going to pick up like random damaged stuff in this game, and then it's going to take you certain crafting materials in order to fix the stuff up. And there's like multiple tiers. I haven't gotten super far into it, but like for example right here, I've got an advanced scanner. If I wanted to fix this, I would use a delicate device on it. I could manufacture my own delicate device. This guy right here needs an unstable refabricator. This one right here, and this is just loot that you're going to get as random salvage off of guys you kill from time to time. The higher level zone you are, the more likely it is you'll get good stuff. That would be why I have so many points in salvaging right now, is because the junk vendor will give you like $100 for a broken item, but if you fix a broken item, it can be worth upwards of like 100 grand. And so I just hold on to everything. I keep it all in storage, and I just repair it as I have the crafting materials available. Now that I've shown you some gameplay and we've gotten ourselves into some dogfights and whatnot, I'm going to go back to a station and I'm going to show you some of the ship customization and things that you can do inside the current build. There's also apartments. You can buy houses inside this game. I don't know if you can rent them out or anything, but you can buy houses, you can decorate them, you can add all kinds of things to them. It's meant to be like a late game money sink, basically, is you kitting out your own personal place where you live at. But we'll go to the shipyard over here and I will show you. Actually, let's go to a higher level zone because they'll have cooler stuff. So I'm going to take about 15 minutes and I'm going to fly out to a higher level area And I'll show you the stuff that they sell there because that'll give you a better idea. This is one of the starting systems that this elite bounty sent me to. And so the things that they're going to have available for purchase are going to be quite limited. Actually, never mind. We're in Moncrice right now. We're still in Valdric territory, but like, I thought I was like in the inner area of Valdric, which is for Lobies. The races in this game, I really, really like them. This is a game where the sci-fi races to me make sense. So like, if we ever found life in space, I'm willing to bet it would be something like inconceivable that we can't even describe until we get like a chemical analysis of it and like a DNA analysis of it. And would a DNA analysis even work? This game is kind of like that. It's populated by hive mind microbes that live inside coffins. There are like these floating cubes with robotic actuator arms that allow them to interact with the world that are like the trading race. There are giant crab people that are kind of like the militaristic race that fights with everybody and makes the best guns. There's the Valdrics, which are basically like highly modified humans that have like a million billion different configurations and genetic modifications and options and that kind of stuff. But we'll dive on into the station here, and when it comes to ship customization, we're going to want to go to F4, and I'll kind of show you all the systems and stuff that go into customizing your craft. So over here, the game does not use a icon menu system. It's kind of got like these long lists over here on the side. Things at the bottom are going to be stuff that's just in your cargo hold, so I looted some of this stuff from the pirates that we killed. So I'll sell those off. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get me to my next level up, but it should get me close. And then from there, you've got slots for everything for like AI assistance, heavy equipment, mine layers. You've got countermeasures down here. You've got what kind of hull plating you want to install, what kind of shield you want to install. I guess I could get, so I got 1,700 on my shield right now. I could buy a new shield. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that would actually be a pretty solid investment for right now. Yeah, sell off my night shield, I guess. An extra 700 shield points would probably help out because we're getting chunked pretty good. So I'm just going to buy that and equip it real fast, and with the additive value of what we just purchased, that did give us our level up. You've also got gun spots. Every ship that I've found so far has 6 gun slots. I don't know if that's supposed to be the case, but everything I've flown so far has been a fighter or a heavy fighter. I have not flown, like, you know, larger craft yet, like freighters and whatnot, so I don't know what their gun configuration looks like. But every single slot is going to have a class. That's the maximum tier of item that you can put inside of it. Higher tier is better. In this context, you've got guns, you've got equipment. I still haven't found anybody that sells some of this stuff down here. I'm guessing the heavy equipment is probably for mining. The AI I haven't found yet. Shield cache charger, I haven't found one of those yet. This is basically a mod that you put on your shield that allows your little shield potions to either heal you for more, or they'll heal you for less, but you can store like twice as many of them. It's up to you what you want to do. The friend drive is a device that you use for trading from what I recall. I haven't found one in this current playthrough, but I'm pretty sure it allows you to check prices or something like that from space and like figure out, like auto tells you where to take certain items and whatnot. Engine tuning kit, obviously for performance, it makes you fly a little bit better, but fairly customizable here. And like the most customizable is the guns, because the guns are all going to have different types of affinities. So like I damage quasar shields really well with my puncturers, but against neutrino shields I do a bad job. That's why I've got the carriels over here. So the carriels, they help me out against a netic, but they're weaker against quasar, which is what these guys are strong against. And then I've got the web eater over here. The web eater just does absurd damage to all shields, except for neutrino shields apparently, but like a 20% reduction on 280 damage a shot is not really going to be that big of a problem. You can also customize your paint job, add details, you can customize your cockpit if you want to. As far as activities go, I think I showed you the sort of random jobs activities you can do in this game. You can get them from the job boards inside of the bars, but there are other characters around all over the game, so if we go out to the star map right now, you can't see anything here, but let me see on the galaxy map. I can show you. So if you see a little exclamation point right here, it means that there's quests available that you're going to be able to partake in. I don't know if that includes like all of the randomized jobs that are out there, but I have come across a couple of jobs out in space that you can do that are more sophisticated than just the go there, kill this guy, question this guy, transfer this data from here to there, blow up a station. You can get random jobs out here from random people. On top of that, the game does have a very good narrative, actually. I like the main storyline quest and the spin-off quest for the main storyline. I enjoyed them a lot. My only complaint there is that, unfortunately, the voice acting has not been put in the game yet, so you're just reading text, and oftentimes they're having complex conversations about random politics and things happening in space while you're flying and fighting with the enemy. The game does give you access if you press escape. It will give you this right here, which tells you all of the last dialogue that you had coming through, but still, until the voice acting gets in, sometimes in very, very high intensity situations, it can be hard to keep up with the text that you're supposed to be reading, while also dodging laser fire and getting shot at. But thus far, actually, I think that this is one of the only games that I would say is like a worthy successor to Freelancer out there. It's got that arcadey vibe, it's got that loosey-goosey flight pattern, it lets you do all kinds of fun Star Fox stuff while you're flying, but it all feels good. My complaints about the game are just that, well, this isn't a complaint, it's just a recommendation for you. It takes a little bit to get used to the UI. The UI is very logical if you actually think about the flow of it, but modern UIs are not designed for logic, they're actually designed for psychiatry. They're playing on, so with Gestalt UI design, typically, it's actually playing on tendencies that the human brain has to associate little ideas together subconsciously. This game has a logically designed UI, which is going to take you a little while to learn where everything is and how everything works, but if you stick with it, it's not too bad. But from there, I do think that the weapon effects could be punched up a little bit. There's lots of things that go like choo, 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 and like I like those plosive, like, you know, chunky, like ka-chug, 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 ka-chug noises while I'm firing at the enemy. Things that have a little bit more punch and a little bit more hit to them. And then, of course, until the voice acting gets into the game, it's very easy to miss dialogue. But other than that, this is a really, really good sci-fi sandbox RPG that holds up to scrutiny. There's a lot of activities and stuff to do inside of this game, coupled with a solid narrative that's enjoyable and unpredictable. And so anyways, I'll see y'all later. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with a rad game. I never expected this game like years ago when we covered the first demo that they put out. This game was really, really rough around the edges, but a couple years later, and this thing is really coming together. This developer has been diligent. He's been intelligent in his observations. He's refined the gameplay loops quite a bit, and I had way, way, way more fun this time around than I expected. Like, you know, anytime I'm doing a game that I've already covered in the past, there's always that chance that you come in and get disappointed. And it happens to me so many times on a weekly basis with games where they make changes and stuff like that that nobody asked for, that anytime I jumped into a game that I enjoyed, but it's had like 2 years worth of changes since the last time I played, I'm always a little bit nervous. But this time around, really, really solid, dude. I like it a lot. It's fun. I'll see y'all later. Take care, folks.